Hi, everyone. This is Inside the TMC family, and I am Faith Howard Mooney. So excited today to get a chance to someone that I have admired from a distance in the industry for a long period of time. But believe it or not, I'm just meeting today myself. I am with Paulina McGrath. She's the president and CFO of Republic State Mortgage. Thanks for doing this with me.
My pleasure. Thank you so much, Faith.
You are located in Houston, Texas. You joined TMC. It seems like you've been around and with us for a while, but you really just joined in March of this year.
That's right. Yeah.
And we've been so happy to have you speak with Rich on a couple of topics and everything, and are excited today to just get to know a little bit more about you personally.
Thanks, Faith. No, you guys are a great or well-run organization, and I'm kicking myself for not having joined sooner.
Well, that's very sweet of you to say, but we appreciate you having joined. So love it that you're in. The first job that you ever held anywhere?
Anywhere would be scooping ice cream at Swenson's Ice Cream when I was in high school. I can't remember the exact year, but I just, wanted to have my own pocket personality and found that job. Several of my friends from high school were working there, and it was just an easy thing to do and a lot of fun.
That is that's one of the better first jobs that I've heard of. Because the ice cream, of course, is always appealing. And then friends, what a fun place to work. How long ago did you get into the industry? And then, tell me a little bit about how you got into the industry. How did you end up in mortgage?
So, as most people in this business, I got in a very roundabout way. It was not an intentional thing at all. I got in back in 1999. At the time, I was working commercial real estate in Houston, and I befriended Robert Wagnon, who is my now business partner. And we met socially at I think it was a wedding party for one of our mutual friends. And he and his spouse and I and my spouse, we met, we just completely hit it off, and got to know each other, went out to dinner together. And then later he invited me to his office and wanted to learn more about me and what I was doing. And he had heard about me and in Houston and what I had done in commercial real estate, and talked me into joining him at Republic.
That is an awesome story. Beware of those wedding receptions, folks. You never know how you're gonna get looped in, because once you get in, you don't go anywhere.
That's right.
Back before you got into mortgage, is there one thing that just, like, now that you've been in for a while, that seems so obvious that you just wish someone would have told you, that would have made being in mortgage a little bit easier?
Back before I got into mortgage?
Yep.
Well, I would say the obvious thing would be to have taken at least one class in finance. I never did. I was pre-med undergrad. I studied, I got my master's in international affairs and international economics. So I never, aside from international economics and international finance, I never studied, things about this business in particular that would have really served me well. So I would have to say that.
Yep, I think that's common, that a lot of people just kind of progress and don't go into it really, if you go in young with a plan. But yeah, and you're the CFO now, so
I know, it's crazy. I often say it would have been really helpful to have had at least one class in accounting. That would have been really great.
If not mortgage banking, what would you do?
I don't know. I obviously, my first love was medicine. That's actually something that I finished pre-med, and I was really struggling with whether I wanted to stick with pre-med or, apply to medical school, or get into international relations, which was my second love. And of course I ended up in mortgage. So who knows, right? I don't know. To be perfectly frank, I think it would probably be in one of those two areas. I grew up in the Washington, D.C. area. And so for me, all things international and government relations and politics was that was local news. That was just
Yeah.
happening all around me. And it was very fascinating. So I think probably, even though I started off saying the medical field, I think I would probably be something in the government affairs or international affairs arena. It's just always been something that fascinates me.
Yeah. So, last question. We're right in the midst of the Olympics right now. Um, Favorite event either at the Olympics or favorite thing about the Olympics?
So I'm going to answer both of those questions, if that's okay. The first one, a favorite event is gymnastics. I used to do gymnastics when I was young, so that's always been a love of mine. And so I love watching. I love watching that.
Had a good year to watch and tune in to everything going on.
Absolutely. And then I would say my favorite thing about the Olympics is just seeing all of the nations come together. There's something so beautiful about both the opening and the closing ceremonies, and just the camaraderie that you see with the athletes from so many different places. And it really was so vital back in the day, like during the Cold War growing up, and seeing the interaction between the US athletes and the former, Soviet Union athletes. But even now, just with all of the different things that are going on across the world, to see all these nations coming together and participating in something like this is just, it's heartwarming. And it's gives you a little bit of faith that there's better things ahead.
Yeah. For me, I always say it's always about the people. It's always about the people. And it has been such a great thing after such a hard year to see everybody back doing something that is so important, I think, together. Uh,
Absolutely.
so, yeah, so thank you so much for doing this with me today. We
Yeah,
are really excited to have you and your team
thank
within the
you.
TMC family. And if there's
Thank you.
ever anything we can do for you, know that we want to.
Will do. Thank you so much.